Hey, we're getting you ready for Cuse and Duke this Saturday in the Dome. Brian Higgins here. Across town in the football wing is redshirt freshman starting quarterback Garrett Williams. And Garrett, I kind of want to start with the secondary right now. And I think you knew this. We came into the season. We knew what Cisco was all about. We knew what Trill was all about. We knew what Ippy was all about. We said, okay, what's going to be the rest of these guys? And every week, one of you young guys is popping up. What's it like for you guys to really sort of mix in with these vets and really all have your moments so far this season?
It's really exciting. You know, a lot of big guys we have in our secondary, and they do a good job of mentoring us, showing us the right way to go about things. So we're really just following them, trying to follow in their footsteps.
Is it cool to see that the young guys are kind of all having their moments? Like you were the leading tackler week one. It's like, oh, wow, here's Garrett Williams on the scene. And then Jahad Carter comes out and makes some plays. And last week we saw, or a couple weeks ago, we saw Rob Hanna with the big interception. That I guess each one of you guys has had their own moment so far.
Yeah, it's really exciting, you know, because these are the guys that I'm going to be playing with for a really long time. And plus, you know, they're my close friends, so it's good to see all of us really just, you know, taking those steps, making big plays on a big scene.
And it's amazing how you guys have had to adjust. I mean, speaking of Rob Hanna, I mean, he's a true freshman. Let's go back 2 weeks ago. Andre Cisco, I mean, I've never seen this before in my life, gets hurt in warm-ups in a fluke accident is what it was. And you guys have to say, uh-oh, our guy is in here. How did you guys handle that as well as you did?
Really, you know, we just take it as next man up, and it just made us want to play harder because, you know, we know Dre wanted to be out there with us, so we just had to pick up, or, you know, because, you know, he leaves a big hole in our secondary, so we had to just pick up for what was missing.
The turnovers here have been wild. I mean, this sort of became a thing with this defense, I mean, really 3-4 years ago now. And it's really continued every year. You guys are forcing an unbelievable amount of takeaways. How does that sort of play amongst you guys where you're all sort of going for the ball?
I mean, we all just play real aggressive. It really doesn't matter who gets the turnover. You know, as long as we're making plays and having fun, that's all we really care about in our defense.
Has there been a more fun play yet this year than when Jahad pitched it back to Trill?
Nah, not yet. Hopefully there's something better coming, though.
All right, take me back to last year, Garrett. It's now only – this year's the third year of the rule where – and last year was only the second year where 4 games, and I guess this year it doesn't matter, but 4 games and you could redshirt and keep the year. And you took advantage of that last year. How did that help you coming into this year? That you got a little taste last year. You got 4 games. You played a little special teams.
Yeah. The special teams, you know, prepared me just for the overall feel of just, you know, seeing guys who are in college, getting a feel for the speed, even in special teams. But, you know, it's a different speed than what I was used to in high school the year previous before, and I think it's really prepared me for what I've had come this year.
Did that give you a little something more, I guess, to hang on to last year where I guess if you knew you were just, you know, redshirting and not playing, the focus has to be harder in practice. To know that you had a shot there to get on the field had to give you a little something.
Yeah, no, it definitely helps out a lot just because each practice, you know, you have something to work towards because, you know, you're working hard and you feel like you can get rewarded with, you know, making the field on special teams or any little role possible, you know, and you know that the coaches trust you to put you in on special teams, and then you hope for the next year that they trust you with a bigger role like it's been for me this year.
That said, that had to drive you right during the offseason, too, knowing you got a taste that, okay, now there's a shot for me, and you did to go grab a starting role.
Yeah, most definitely.
Speaking of weird stuff and things that have never happened before, you guys 2 weeks ago are standing in the tunnel ready to run onto the field.
Yeah.
And you got to go back to the locker room, and we wait for a half hour and check in on COVID and everything that goes into it. What's that like? Because you know how it is, football game, you got the adrenaline pumping, you're ready to go, and you got to hit pause. How did you guys handle that?
You know, at first it kind of all threw us off because, you know, everybody's pumped up like you were saying, we're getting ready to go. But then we really saw it as an opportunity to really regroup and think about what we had to get done, you know, in the next 30 minutes and how even if we didn't have those guys with us or not, we would have to step it up, you know, to make those plays to win the game.
How much more of, I guess, that mental flexibility has to be there in this year of all years where you just don't know what's going to happen really minute by minute?
Yeah, it really just makes you focus and practice just because, you know, you never know what's going to happen. Somebody might not be able to play. You might have to go somewhere you had no expectation of going. So it really just kept you on your heels and makes you focus more on practice to be prepared.
All right, Garrett, how about the Dome? I mean, that was the first time we all kind of got to see it there a couple weeks ago. You'll be in there this week and next week. You were in there last year. What was it like seeing the differences and the new scoreboard and everything you got to see when you got to play last week?
It was really exciting. I think that helped our team out. It gave us a like a little pump, excitement, because it's the dome's really nice, and so it's something really fun for all of us looking forward to, and to be able to finally get into the dome, playing, and then on top of that come out with the win. I think it was just an overall really great experience for all of us.
I'd say we've been kind of wondering, like, what can home field advantage be this year in a year without fans and everything that's going on? We saw Georgia Tech kind of walk out. Guys were taking pictures of the scoreboard and all that. Is that something where I guess the wow factor of the building now can give you guys a little advantage that you've got that behind your back?
Yeah, honestly, I don't know. It's just a really good experience. I think everybody, even Georgia Tech, was blown away with how impressive it was. And I think even on both sides, I think it gave everybody kind of like a new burst of energy, to really want to play good. The new stadium, knowing that this game was going to be in the record books, forever as the first game in the Dome.
And hey, you guys won it, so it's a good thing you went in the record books the right way. All right, quick thought on Duke. You guys blew them out last year in Durham. You weren't supposed to play them this year, but here they are. What do you see out of these guys this year?
I know they play really hard, and they're getting better each week, and they played really well against Virginia Tech last week offensively. So defensively, we have a tough task on our hands, playing a good quarterback, good running back, and solid receivers. So we just need to, focus in and do what we need to do to be able to come out successful and do what we got to do to win the game.
Yeah, certainly the vets remember Chase Bryce from a couple of years ago down in Death Valley. So that'll be on people's minds here this week. All right, Garrett, we wrap things up. We're going to put a minute on the clock. We call this 2 yards in a cloud of questions. I got some rapid fire stuff for you. So just fire away with answers here. Here we go with our minute. All right, you're a Carolina guy. Are you a tomato sauce barbecue guy, or are you a vinegar-based barbecue guy?
Tomato based.
Okay, tomato based. You're Eastern Carolina, right? So I guess that makes sense, huh?
A little bit.
All right, it's more Western where they get a little tangy with it. All right, what is the weirdest workout you did during your quarantine time when you didn't have access to a gym?
Trying to push a car in neutral.
How far did you make it?
I had to change the workout.
Yeah, that's a hard one. Those are a couple tons, right? All right, 3 teammates to quarantine with if you had to pick. Who'd you take with you?
Matthew Bergeron, Courtney Jackson, and Iffy.
All right, that's a good mix. A little offense, a little defense there. All right, did you shower every day during quarantine?
Yes, yes.
All right, that's good to hear. What was your best excuse to get out of the house?
I needed to go for a drive. I need to get fresh air.
All right, that's a good one there. All right, Garrett, you survived our minute here. Hey, great to catch up here for a few minutes, and good luck this week against Duke.
Thank you.